Okay, hello everyone. Today with my classmate Jennifer Sandoval and Mimi Vargas, we're going to present our experience in Instituto Comercial de la Liga. First, we're going to talk about the Instituto Comercial. That is a vocational technical high school and is located in Pérez Rosales. The student profile is 92 of students are socially vulnerable. The mission is we are a free public technical vocational secondary school that promotes the positive and holistic development of cognitive, procedural, and attitudinal competencies in all our students. We foster the education of well-rounded individuals who are committed to their communities while supporting the development of artistic and athletic skills. All of this is guided by an educational model centered on the individual. Well, the vision is to become a leading institution in technical vocational education by developing students' cognitive and personal competencies, enabling them to build harmonious relationships with others and the environment. This education is committed to universal values and responds to needs of a globalized and constantly changed society. Our context, in my experience, we had 11th grade. They are a course that are technical and that had 35 students, and my mentor teacher is Karina Giffel. My grade was 10th grade, with 32 students, and my mentor teacher was Mr. Anthony. Okay, what were the main aspects I can highlight from this observation? There are many main aspects that I can highlight from this experience. First, classroom management. On my first day, I was extremely nervous because it was my first time standing in front of a large group of students. I prepared to introduce myself in English because I wanted to make a good first impression. But my nerves got the better of me and I ended up speaking in Spanish. In that moment, if only I had been more confident, I would have started interacting with them in English from the beginning. Another aspect was flexibility. During the school anniversary week, I prepared a worksheet, but the lesson was canceled because my students had sports activities. Obviously, at first, I felt very disappointed because I had spent a lot of my time preparing. But then I understood that unexpected situations happen all the time in school. So we need, as a teachers, we need to adapt. And that made me feel that I wasn't observing anymore, but also becoming a real teacher. And in my case, one of the main aspects I can highlight is how much I grew during my first practicum. At first, I feel very nervous because it was my first time in a real classroom. And in addition to that, my mentor teacher, before facing my students, my mentor teacher had mentioned that the students were very hyperactive and they had difficulty paying attention due to my classes were on Thursday at the 8 a.m. But however the months went by, I gained more confidence in speaking and I was able to create different activities and teaching materials such as
Mingo profession, vocabulary worksheets, and analog clocks. I would like to highlight this experience because they help me to understand how the students tend to participate more when the activities are engaged or tailored their needs, even if they lack interest in the subject, in this case in English.
How did I collaborate with my supervising teacher? I collaborated with him in many aspects. For example, I helped him to count quiz scores, transfer grades into Excel, and design assessments. Later, I was also given the opportunity to lead some activities, such as worksheets and listening exercises. Then he explained to me how lessons are designed and emphasized on the importance of managing our time properly. He said that teachers should try to avoid taking work home, and that advice really stayed with me because as a teacher information, we tend to put things off and we end up with a lot of academic work, heavy academic workload.
And in my case, as mentioned before, I collaborate with my mentor teacher in different ways. For example, here, and in the class, I could correct worksheets, and I supervise the students while they work, and I was able to help with questions, and I support my mentor teacher during exams and oral presentations. An example was when in the final presentation, my mentor teacher also allowed me to help evaluate the students who's using the rubric. And that moment I feel a real teacher, and a little bit because one of my students wrote my name in a presentation slide as her teacher, and in another case, my other students, they graded me like a teacher. They call me Miss Fair. So all this experience made me feel an active part of the classroom.
What was the most challenging aspect of this experience for me was classroom management. I was feeling confident in front of the class and to get the attention of the students. At the beginning, I used to feel very nervous every time that I had to speak in English or in Spanish. Even when I prepare my activities carefully. For example, one experience happened during my last intervention. Some students were working individually, and others were preparing oral presentations. And so I found it so difficult to get everyone's attention because everyone was in different things.
The most challenging aspect for me was learning how to motivate the students who had no interest in English. Because as mentioned before, they lack interest in the subject. I also noticed that some students were afraid to speak because their classmates laugh when someone pronunciate English well. So this makes many students feel insecure to speaking in English. But however, I believe that I succeeded in creating different activities to improve the environment classroom, making it a safe place for students to participate.
How has this practicum impacted my teacher training? And conclusion. Before entering this program, I was mainly interested in English only as a language, not as a profession. And I was not completely sure that I was what I wanted to do. And one of the most meaningful experiences was a student who came to me to because he needed help. So she came to me for her oral presentation, and obviously I helped her with vocabulary and pronunciation. And then she thanked me because she felt more confidence and improved her grade to 6.6. I realized, with that experience, I realized that teaching is not only about the content, also about helping students to believe in themselves with confidence and face challenges. So sometimes I felt nervous and with anxiety and insecure, but I think that this experience made me feel as a teacher and as a person. And now I can confirm that I want to continue developing as a teacher.
For me, this is practicum had a great impact on both my personal and professional development because it helped me to become a little bit more confident in speaking in front of class, and I discovered myself because I really enjoy creating interactive materials and interactive activities. And I discovered myself because I am a quiet person, so is weird. But I also learned that that teaching is not only about grammar rules or something like that. Teaching is understanding the student needs and create an environment when the students feel challenged, but in a good way. For example, create opportunity in the future. I would like to create opportunities to a student participate more confidence without fear, anxiety, and I would like to highlight too I discovered that the teacher not only the teacher I want to do, because some practices made me question that the practices that I questioned as my belief of teaching, for example. Sometimes we learn not only from successful experience, but also from observing practices that make us question our own belief of teaching. Overall, this practicum confirmed that teaching is something I want to do, and that's profession I want to pursue, and I help develop a clear teaching identity.
And that's all. Thank you.